Alright, so far, that first video, you had GCF and you had a magic number that wasn't 1. The second video, you had a GCF and you had your magic number that was 1. A lot easier, simple. Now we get even simpler. Let's take a look. We got 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. Okay? Pause the video, find a GCF. Oh, okay, so hopefully you didn't have any. There was none. There wasn't a GCF. There was none. So now, well, I write down my equation. 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. Okay, from here, I find my magic number, right? Oohs and the ahs. Make the rabbit disappear. So, here is my A, 2, poof cloud. Okay, there it is. Alright, and I want to make this A, I got to make it disappear into the C value. So I'll rewrite this as x squared, my 2, there it is, magic, went away, plus 9x plus 8, 2 times 4. Okay, so here we go. We're on a roll. Product term, here it is, positive 8. Sum term, here it is, positive 9. Let's first start with the product. How do we get 8? Low to high. 1 times 8, 2 times 4, 3 times, nope, 3 doesn't work. 4 times, oh, yep, but I'm starting to repeat my numbers again. So I stop. How else can we get a positive? Okay, hopefully you said both can be negative. Okay. Eventually, you're just going to be able to see this. The more practice you do, the better you're going to see it. Now, one of these 4 sets will give us a positive 9. And that will be right here. 1 plus 8 is that positive 9 value. Okay, remember, these both have to be identical. That allows you to multiply and add. So, I draw my parentheses. Here we go. Positive 1, or x squared splits off as x and x every time, all the time. I have a positive 1. I got a positive 8. Cool. I got my factors here, but as all good magicians do, I made this rabbit disappear earlier, and we're going to bring this rabbit back. So, don't forget that A. I got to divide each number by my A value. Excuse me. Now, first thing we do, reduce the fraction. 1/2, it is reduced. I can't simplify it any further. If you have any doubt, type it in the calculator, math, enter, enter. Once again, type in the calculator, math, enter, enter, and it'll reduce the fraction for you automatically. Okay? Since I cannot reduce this, I cannot have a fraction here, so I take this denominator, and I want to kick it in front of the respective x. So this becomes 2x plus 1, no more fraction. This is part of the magic. Here, if I reduce this, well, that's easy. 8 divided by 2, that's a whole number, it's 4. X plus 4. And then the only thing left, bring down to GC. Oh, wait, there was none to bring down. So I'm done. This is it. 2x plus 1 times x plus 4. Okay, let's take a look at one more of these. Okay. X squared plus 3x plus 2. Pause the video. Find the GCF. Okay, hopefully that didn't take too long. There was no GCF here. So there's no GCF. There is none. I'll go ahead and write this out. X squared plus 3x plus 2. And this is going to be the fastest one we do all day. What's my magic number? What's my A value? Wait a second, there is none. That means it's 1. And hopefully we have learned that 1 is easy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and not show you the 1 this time. Since 1, it's irrelevant for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just ignore both these columns now. Because I have none and I have 1. So I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to go straight into the product term. Product is 2. My sum is 3. Okay. How do I get 2? Well, 1 times 2, not a whole lot of options, coach. Well, and over here, -1 times -2. That's it. One of these, 50-50 chance here, adds up to 3. Okay. Hopefully you chose the right 50. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Those are my factors. I draw my parentheses. X squared goes to x and x. Plus 1. Plus 2. I'm done. I don't have to bring back my magic number because it's just 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. I have no GCF, so I don't have to remember to bring that over. So my factors are x plus 1 times x plus 2. Ta-da! Alright, so here we go. Same thing, but now what you're going to notice is we are ax squared. The squared makes it a quadratic here. But if we notice we have x squared minus 64. We're missing this bx term. And we've done this before. We've shown you shortcuts on the last unit. We kind of showed that to you. But now let's get down to the math. Let's get down to see how we factor this out. What if we don't remember those shortcuts? Well, first, pause the video, find the GCF. Okay, there is none. So, no, there's none. So I can now ignore my GCF column. Okay, so I can rewrite x squared minus 64. Find your magic number. Wait, magic number, it's 1. And 1 as a magic number is also irrelevant to us. Okay, so far so good. This is pretty easy. We must identify the product and sum term. That's where it gets tricky, right? Because if I look at my equation up here, this is my product term. It's A times C. That's my product term. And here is my sum term. Well, minus 64 would be my product. I don't have a bx term. There is no x. There's no bx. So my sum is 0. Not none. It's 0. So I need to find out how do I get negative 64. Okay, well, 1 times negative 64, 2 times negative 32, 3 times 3 doesn't work, 4 does. So 4 times negative 16, 5 times, nope, 5 doesn't work, 6 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 8, ooh, 8 works. 8 times negative 8, I'm starting to replicate my numbers, so then I got to reverse this negative. Negative 1 times 64, negative 2 times 32, negative 4 times 16. And then I don't really need to replicate this one because 8 times negative 8 or negative 8 times 8, same thing. Okay. Now, one of these adds to 0. And something has to add to 0. They probably have to be opposite signs and the same number every time. Right here. 8 plus a negative 8 is 0. Well, there are my factors. Draw my parentheses. X squared, x and x. One's a positive 8. One's a negative 8. I have no GCF. Magic number is just 1, which we know is now irrelevant. And so here are my factors. X plus 8 times x minus 8. Now, let's do one that's a little bit trickier though, a trickier binomial. 3x squared minus 27. There's a GCF. I can tell you that right now. Pause the video, find the GCF. Okay. All right. Hopefully you found the GCF is 3. Okay. And then if I write the remainder, it should be x squared minus 9. Find the magic number. It's right here. It's 1. And 1 here is irrelevant. Not the GCF. We need that. Okay. But this becomes irrelevant. So here we go. Product term, -9. I don't have a BX term, it's gone. So my sum term is 0. Well, how do I get -9? Let's see. 1 times -9. 2, no, 3, oh yeah, 3 times -3. I'm repeating numbers so that I flip the signs over. -1 times +9. And I don't need to replicate this. It's the same thing. A times B is B times A. Same thing. One of these three sets adds to 0. And what we said earlier, same number, different signs. 3 plus -3. Okay, so draw my parentheses. X and X. One's a +3. One is a -3. But don't forget on this one here, don't forget that I have a GCF. GCF carries down. So I have 3 times x plus 3 and x minus 3. There we go. Alright guys, last video. Let's do one more problem just so we can see this. I got 3x squared plus 5x minus 9. We kind of talk through this. The first thing we look at is there a GCF? If I look at all three of these, in this case, there is none. There is no GCF. Irrelevant. So I'm going to rewrite this out. 3x squared plus 5x minus 9. Next up, magic. Find that a value right here, 3. Draw my little poof cloud. There it is. And then let's make a disappear into -9. So my new equation is x squared plus 5x minus 27. Okay, the a is gone. Great, great, great. We need to identify the product. Okay, that's cool. Been there, done that. Lots of videos, lots of practice. And identify the sum term. Okay, easy. Lots of videos, lots of practice. This is way too easy, coach. Here we go. Okay, so now I need to work out the product. Work out the product. Okay, so I got 1 times -27. 2 does not go into evenly. 3 does. 3 times -9. 4 doesn't. 5 doesn't. 6 doesn't. 7 doesn't. 8 doesn't. 9 does, but I already got a 9. Okay. We can also go reverse this. -1 times 27. And -3 times 9. There are only 4 possibilities that multiplies to a -27. Now, one of these adds to a +5. This one does not. This one does not. This one, that's -6. Nope. This is +6. Okay. Now, so if nothing goes to 5, then this is done. I cannot factor this portion any further. Okay, so if I can't factor it, then I look back, well, here's my equation. 3x squared plus 5x minus 9. It is my original equation. There are no factors. There was no GCF, and I could not factor it. Once again, no GCF, no factors, not factorable. It's the same equation. Or we can write down not factorable. Now, to the contrary, last problem, no more videos. This is it here. If we had 2x squared minus 10x plus 2. Go ahead, let's find the GCF. I see one, I know one, pause it, find it. Okay, great. You should have had 2 as the GCF. That left us with x squared minus 5x plus 1. Excuse me. My magic number is 1. Since magic number is 1, irrelevant. We're good on that. Okay. Then I need to identify my product and my sum term. Product is plus 1. My sum is negative 5. I see a dilemma here. If I find my product, well, that's 1 times 1. Not too many options. Oh, wait. Negative 1 times negative 1. There's potential here. We got more than one option. But now one of these has to add to negative 5. And I don't think we are going to get there. There's no factors here. But this problem's different because we did have a GCF, greatest common factor. There was a factor. Just because we can't factor this, we already factored it one time. Where up here, we had no GCF, and we could not factor it, so it became not factorable. But down here now, it was factorable. We factored out of 2. So 2, and I still write down my remainder. X squared minus 5x plus 1. This problem was factorable because I was able to take out at least a GCF. I was able to do something to it. So there's my answer.